If you are a creator and you want to grow in 2025 on, let's say, YouTube or Instagram, the first thing you do is that
do you think AI in future will eat jobs?
every place I go to, they're talking about, replacing designers, replacing developers, replacing managers. But the only thing that will always be having value is going to be
Why do all the founders want to go to Bangalore and open their offices there?
whenever you are able to stay in a hotspot, the best benefit of that is
What is that जो बाकी लोग नहीं कर रहे और आपको लगता है कि आपने सही टाइम पे सही चीज कर दी?
my batchmates from my college used to like mock me saying that why would you write a book on LinkedIn? You're an engineer, you have a set path for you, like why would you do that? And now it is clear to them.
वेलकम टू अनदर एपिसोड ऑफ हसल टैंक। आई एम योर होस्ट नेहा और आज के हमारे जो गेस्ट हैं ही इज इन लिटरल सेंस लिमिटलेस। लाइक ही स्टार्टेड हिज जर्नी फ्रॉम कंटेंट क्रिएशन एंड नाउ ही इज अ को-फाउंडर। बीच में ही ऑल्सो रोट अ बुक, सो आई डोंट थिंक देयर इज एनीथिंग इन द कंटेंट वर्ल्ड और बिजनेस वर्ल्ड दैट ही इज नॉट टच्ड अपॉन। सो इसी जर्नी को आज हम जानेंगे। आई हैव विथ मी ईशान शर्मा। हाय ईशान, हाउ आर यू?
Neha, thanks a lot for inviting me here. I am great and we are in Mumbai.
Yes, and
without the floods.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations on MarkitUp. Like,
Thank you.
how does it feel?
Feels surreal. So it's been 3.5 years, I think almost 4 years now, and we just opened our first office in Bangalore, and we are a 25 people team.
Wow.
I walk into the office, see people working, getting things done, and it is insane because just 4 साल पहले it was just a thought that me and Saransh, who is my co-founder, had on a Google Meet कि ऐसा कुछ शुरू कर सकते हैं क्या? Like February 2021 was the month, and today we have an office, and it's
Must be a dream come true.
makes me super happy every single day.
But जब आप सोचते हो on your journey, when you look back at your journey, क्या लगता है? What is something different that you did which all other 20, by the way, he's 23 years old.
24. Just turned 24.
So he's 24 and he already has a startup and 25 people working for him. So what is that जो बाकी लोग नहीं कर रहे और आपको लगता है कि आपने सही टाइम पे सही चीज कर दी?
I think ऐसा नहीं है कि बाकी लोग वो नहीं कर रहे जो मैंने किया, but I just think that I was fortunate to be starting content creation in 2020 when I had a lot of time in my hand. मैं college में था, college में online lectures थे, which I was not really attending, so I had the free time to explore, try out different skills, document my story. This is how I learned graphic design. Here's how I learned website development. Here's how I got my first freelancing client. And so I realized that people want to know about opportunities, and I can solve awareness for them. And because they know better, they can now choose better in their career. So they don't have to always end up in a dead-end job in Infosys, TCS or all the mass hiring companies. And they can choose to do better because they know कि अच्छा ये भी possible है because ईशान ने ये किया है, तो I can do the same. So I had role models before me like Aman Thatarwal, like Ranveer, so I could see myself in those shoes, and so I went ahead and did it. That is what helped out in my journey. In 2021 mein, because I was on social, because I was growing my channel, because I was making education content, a lot of edtech companies started reaching out to me wanting me to work full time on their channel. So in second year of engineering college, I had full time offers from edtech companies with average packages of 14 lakhs per annum.
Wow.
And that to me is insane, right? I was like, how is this even possible? Like, these companies want to hire me as a content manager, content director for all of their content on their YouTube channel. I decided to then start my marketing company with my roommate from college, Saransh, and work with all of these companies together.
Wow.
So I was like, instead of me working full-time at one company, let me get help from my co-founder, let me hire more people, and let me help work with all of these companies at the same time by starting my own marketing company. So that's how MarkitUp started.
Wow, that's so interesting. Like, you have these tempting offers in your hand while you're in second year of your college. Like, for a college-going student, that's a huge number. And still you decided that I don't want to pursue that, but I want to build something of my own. How did your family support? Like, what was their response when you told them about all of this?
I think I was always making content before I started MarkitUp. So they were always looking at me doing something different, doing something new, doing something extra apart from academics, and what is expected out of me. तो वो देख रहे थे कि मैं काम कर रहा हूँ, and they just had this like trust in me that I will sort of figure something out of my own, because I was so consistent with what I was doing. Like, you would just open my door at 2 a.m. in the morning and you would see me learning to code or editing a YouTube video or learning how sound effects work, how does Final Cut Pro work, how does Premiere Pro work. I would always be dialed in, working, and just getting better at that skill of either making a video or learning to code or learning design, and just becoming like that polymath, isko bolte hain, right? Someone who has multiple skill sets, and that is the person who will eventually win in this job market, because they can switch, they have the range, and they can become that irreplaceable person in any company or when starting their own company as well. So they had that trust in me, I think.
सो वुड यू से कि अगर आपको खुद का कुछ शुरू करना है या मे बी आपको कंटेंट भी अगर क्रिएट करना है, you need to have at least basic knowledge about all the domains that are required for that particular product or thing to work?
Absolutely. I think you should always learn to do it yourself first, be it editing, be it making a thumbnail, be it understanding YouTube SEO. Learn it all yourself. Do not wait for someone to help you, someone to consult you, some mentor to magically come to you and help you figure things out. Be it for business. Like, I had no idea about how to create a proposal, how to create an agreement, how to have a sales call, how to pitch effectively, how to then deliver on the promise that you've had. But I sort of learned the things along the way. And we did not have the first employee until the first 4-5 months had passed. So it was just me and Saransh doing everything end to end, and some freelancers who were editing the videos. And that was it. That was MarkitUp. Then we had the first hire. And then we learned how to delegate tasks, how to trust people. We had this huge problem. We would never like trust people easily. Like, what if this person messes up? It will all come back to us because we have our name on it. But then we learned how to train people, how to manage expectations, how to delegate tasks, how to help them upskill, become better. And now we have the team who's working every single day on all the clients.
Actually, मुझे पूछना है, I have many friends who are brewing these ideas of their own startup, their own thing. Like, whenever I see two friends meeting, they're like कि हम साथ में मिलके ये शुरू करेंगे. But very rarely it happens कि वो actually शुरू होता है. So what is that step one you will say कि आपको पता है कि आपको ये चीज के अराउंड अपना बिजनेस बिल्ड करना है. What is the next step to that? Like, how do you get going with your idea? आगे कैसे बढ़े?
So I'll tell you how we did it, right? I had an idea that I want to start a marketing company who can solve for organic distribution for companies around India and around the world. That was the idea. I called my roommate because I was friends with him. He was experienced in running ads, in managing Instagram accounts. So he had some idea of social media. So he was the right skill fit, and I could like trust him as well. So I called him up. He was free. He was like, let me help you out, do this. That was it. Then we bought like a domain name called MarkitUp.in for 500 rupees. We set up a template website. And the next thing we did after that, which everyone should do, is to just talk about it on social. So I made a LinkedIn post saying that, hey, we are launching MarkitUp. We will help you build your YouTube channel. Reach out to us if you are interested. And the first person who reached out was my alumni from my own college. So they were like, Ishan, we're running this company called Stoa. We do like a alternate MBA program for companies and for people. And we saw that you're helping brands with YouTube and content, and we want to grow on social, and we'd love to give this opportunity to you because you're like our juniors. And that's how we got the first client on the first day itself.
Wow.
And the rest is history, and we just kept executing one after the other.
Nice. But when you're dealing with clients, many times things get a bit heated. या client को कुछ एक चीज चाहिए होता है. They are demanding about something, but that's not feasible or anything. Have these sorts of things happened with you, and how do you deal with that? Client को कैसे basically आप handle करते हो? Like, if it's a demanding one.
So I think in our company, we are very efficient at doing regular meetings and with the client, in which we show them what growth we have had in the past, how well did we execute, and what have we learned in the past, let's say 2 weeks. So we do like one meeting every 2 weeks with them, in which we show them all the data. and then we show them what else can we do and the timeline for it. It's very important to have like a realistic timeline for everything that you want to do with them. Like, the first question they have is, okay, you want to grow our channel organically, so tell us when will we reach 100K subscribers? Now they don't know YouTube, right? You know YouTube. It's not like a snap. It doesn't happen like that. So if you want to grow on YouTube, you need to first solve for impressions. When you're starting a channel from scratch, the first goal is to just create enough videos so that you have enough footprints on the platform. The next step after that is to solve for views, to make sure that your thumbnail is optimized. Then the next step after that is to make sure that people convert and they actually subscribe. So it's a multi-month strategy. So we give them a 6-month plan. That the first 2 months we'll experiment, we'll figure out what works, we'll see what gets most impressions. Next we'll optimize on that, and then we will have a North Star metric which will keep changing depending on which phase we are in. So I think that expectation setting is very important, which we have figured out. We have had a lot of clients who've lost, we've lost a lot of money because we were not effective in telling them how much time something will take or how long a video will take to get edited, and they get frustrated because of that. It's much better to like under promise and then over deliver than to like over promise that, oh, we'll put this video out in 2 days and then it takes you 2.5 days. Even that half day will be a dissatisfaction for them, right? Versus if you tell them that it'll take us 3 days and you get done in let's say 2.5 days, they would absolutely love it. So just things like that I learned over the experience, over the years.
Wow, great. Next thing I would like to ask about the solo content creators that we have. Aajkal, everyone wants to be a content creator. Everyone wants to like earn through brand deals or maybe YouTube revenue. So finding the niche is also very important in all of this. बहुत लोग बहुत type की चीजें बनाते हैं, then they fail and then they don't understand because the competition is also so much. So in such scenario, from your own learnings while you were creating content, what is a budding content creator should do to grow organically over Instagram and YouTube?
It's all a very data-oriented approach, what I have learned. It's all about obsessing over your YouTube analytics. So if you are a creator and you want to grow in 2025 on, let's say, YouTube or Instagram, the first thing you do is that you see what the platform is telling you. So let's say you put out 5 videos, 10 videos, go to YouTube Analytics and see which of those videos have worked. If they've not worked, then what are the keywords that you would want to rank for? Then just search those keywords on YouTube and see what type of videos are other creators making, what is the length of those videos, what is the depth to which they are talking about that topic. For example, I use keywords like, let's say, free AI courses, digital marketing, freelancing for beginners, mastering YouTube, video editing. These are all keywords that I have ranked for on my channel in the past 3-4 years. If you will search any of those keywords, a very high likelihood that you will see my video pop up. And it's all intentional because I think that this is going to add value to my audience, and this is what I also understand and I can talk about it at length, and so I make sure that I focus on that. So I just obsess over what YouTube Analytics is telling me.
So what do you think, looking at current trend and scenario, abhi kaun sa topic is fatoing everywhere? Ki if anyone wants to start making content, they should pick this topic up. And
that is the wrong approach, I think. You will be running after one topic after the other, jo fatoing ho raha hai. That is a strategy to fail, because the problem is the topic that works is the topic that is you. So focus on a topic which you can talk about at length, which you have the specific knowledge for, and just communicate it in your way, in your tone, and you will find that will always work, that will always connect with the audience. Like if you are a 21-year-old in Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, or any other place, and you have an interesting idea, or you have a thought about how you want to do, what you want to do ahead, just talk about it out there. And the more you do that, it's all about how well can you tell that story on, let's say, Instagram Reel, or let's say your YouTube videos, and how well can you connect and be relatable with your audience. So the more you do that, the better the audience will connect. And because you're small, they don't have any expectations out of you that you have to be like, perfect, or you have to not mess up, which comes later on when you are, creating a lot of content and when you have your name out there.
Can you share 3 things you should keep in mind while you're making content?
Always start with a script, and always start the script with the emotion that you want people to have at the very end. So, do you want them to be happy? Do you want them to be puzzled? Do you want them to be more curious? And then reverse engineer it. How can I start the reel with a great hook? That is point number 2. Research every single hook that you see. There was this job hiring that Viraj was doing for doom scrollers.
Doom scrollers, yeah.
And that is so good because that is actually a real skill. I have told everyone in my company that you have to scroll on Instagram or YouTube for at least like half an hour every day. There was a video editor that we hired who doesn't have a social media presence. Like, he just doesn't interact with social media. And I'm like, how are you going to have a great video edit if you don't understand what's working out there? And so we made him download Instagram.
Wow, there are companies who make you download Instagram.
That's part of his deliverables now. That you have to go on Instagram and you have to see what works, and you have to tell me what's one piece of reel that you saw this week which made you think, which made you stop, which made you question, and share that with us. And we'll see why was it like that, and what can we learn from it, and how can we do something similar. And the more you will do that is the third point, right? So you have a great understanding of the emotion that you want people to have when you are creating a piece of content. Second, you master the hook. And lastly, you just consume enough content and understand what format is working in the market, right? Like, I think last year, a lot of reels in which you would have some music and you would have some text was working a lot, right? So I did that. Every reel was getting like 1 million views, and it was working really well. This time, the way I want to be perceived, I'm making more videos around AI and AI tools, because it sort of stems from my idea of helping people upskill. And today, the most important thing they want to upskill in is AI.
Yeah.
So I create content around that, and that is working really well right now. So you just consume a lot of content and study every piece of content which has worked well. Like, if a reel has 100K likes, something must have gone right for it to get to 100K likes. It's not magic. It's not luck. It might be luck, but it's a lot of thought which went into it, which you can understand. Achha, this is how people consume content. This is why it worked. What was it? Was it making people laugh? Was it making people share something? Was it making people stop and think about something? Was it making people comment? And because of that reel has so many views.
True.
So study and research every day. It's not wastage of time.
Right.
Your parents are wrong. It's not a waste of time, especially if you are creating content after that.
Exactly. If you're in this field, you have to be present on social media.
Exactly.
हम लोग अभी AI की बात कर रहे थे, तो do you think AI in future will eat jobs, specifically in content creation zone? Because now we have AI tools like Eleven Labs, we have tools like Sora, जहाँ पे you don't need VO3, you don't need a person to sit and talk. You can generate it via AI. Do you think in future content creators का job में भी जा सकता है?
I think that is one job which won't be replaced out of any other jobs, right? Like, I go to so many AI events. Every place I go to, they're talking about, replacing designers, replacing developers, replacing managers, replacing sales managers. But the only thing that will always be having value, which will retail its value, is going to be distribution, right? Because that is something which every company wants, and you cannot create distribution at scale by having an AI avatar. Yes, you can do it. There are already AI influencers who are doing it, and they might be getting some traction right now. But the long-term
game नहीं
है वो, and it is happening right now because people are amused कि अच्छा ये AI avatar है इसलिए follow कर लेते हैं, not because कि relatable है या फिर मुझे ये बंदा अच्छा लगता है अच्छी लगती है, right? It's not because of that.
Okay, so basically the key here can be आपको आपकी skill और साथ में AI skill को balance करना पड़ेगा.
Absolutely.
Then maybe you can progress long term में.
I think every person who's watching this video should make it a habit to spend at least 15 to 20 minutes every day just trying out new AI tools and being aware of what is happening out there in the market, even if it is in your domain. So let's say you are a content writer. Research what are the latest content writing AI tools which are coming up. Grammarly just launched its AI agent. Now, if you're a content writer, you should be the first person to be trying it out, to be reaching out to them, to be getting early access to it.
Right.
And figuring out how can this help you deliver content effectively. Right? If you're a video editor, you should know about Submagic, about Opus Clips, about 10 other video editing tools which are coming up. And how can it supercharge your content, creation journey. My editor, I gave him like a podcast today. It was a 2-hour long podcast with 3 camera angles. Now, normally it takes him a very long time to go through every angle and switch angles depending on who is talking. He told me about this tool called Autopod AI, with which he was able to do it in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, we do use it here also. Autopod,
yeah, exactly. So it's only going to help you do more things faster.
Right.
But you need to have the awareness and you need to have the curiosity to keep trying it every single day.
Let's say, what are 3 must-know AI tools for a person who's in content journey?
First tool to use has to be Notebook LM. Notebook LM is great for research because here you can add all of your PDFs and it will not hallucinate. It will only give you answers from the pieces of documents that you've shared or videos that you've shared and given it access to.
Yeah.
And then you can ask it to summarize, give me the most important points from it, give me a good hook from it, give me all the numbers from it, and then you can use it. The second amazing tool that I've figured out is a amazing platform which is called as Google AI Studio.
Oh yeah.
So Google AI Studio is just great for you to learn anything effectively. Right? There's an assistant that you can bring on your screen with Google AI Studio, and it will actually go look at your screen and talk to you in real time. It's like having like a real-time mentor. So if you don't know how to edit a video, you can open up Premiere Pro, you can share your screen, and now Google AI Studio will help you understand how to import a video in your project, how to put it in your timeline, how to make basic cuts, what is a J cut, how to add text, how to add music, how to add sound effects. It will tell that to you in real time. How cool is that?
क्या आपको लगता है कि अगर ये सारे tools आपको back in 2020 available होते उतना freely, maybe your journey would have been faster and smoother?
I think I was always looking for tools. The tools did not exist as much. I was using DaVinci Resolve back then to edit videos. I was figuring out ways to do it faster, become better at editing myself. But if I had access to it, I would be able to put out more content and take less time, focus on learning more effectively. So all of that would definitely be there.
Wow. I want to ask one question related to content creation again. What can bring you more revenue, Instagram or YouTube?
That's a very... you need to think about what type of content you are creating. For me, it has always been YouTube. Instagram can bring you a lot of less effort money as a creator because you just have to make like a reel versus making like a long format video and researching about it. But that trust that you have on YouTube with the audience that you've built, you are able to command higher prices even with lesser views. So a lot of people are thinking to just do short form content and they think that that's all that you need.
Yeah.
Short form content is a big problem as a creator because when you're creating short form content, people are not intentional with your content. They are mindlessly scrolling through and they came across your content, not with intent, but with just the algorithm serving it to you on your platter. Versus having a person, let's just say that they are having lunch, they open up YouTube and they see your video on the home feed. They click on it intentionally, they put it to the side, and now they're having their meal for 20 minutes and watching you speak about something. That is intention. That is trust that you're building with your audience. So every time someone meets me, recognizes me, and they're like, I've seen you somewhere, I know for a fact that they've seen me on Reels or YouTube Shorts. And then when I meet someone and they say that, Ishan, I love your videos, I know for a fact that this person has seen my long form videos as well.
True.
So it's just that difference that you will find. And brands know that.
Yeah.
There are so many AI creators on Instagram who are just talking about this AI tool, that AI tool, do this, do that. उनको view भी आ रहे हैं, but like brands know that conversion नहीं आएगा. And then they'll know other creators who are active on other platforms as well, who've been there for a long time. And they know for a fact that if this person says about my AI tool, my company, people will inherently have more trust on it.
While we are talking about brands, आजकल बहुत देखने मिल रहा है, like even small creators are endorsing brands and doing brand deals on Instagram Reels, in YouTube videos also. How does this whole thing work? Like,
Companies used to reach out to me, but I was always against like doing like a brand integration or something like that. I asked my audience that, do you want me to, would you be okay with me doing it? But I was always against it. Then I realized that if I talk about stuff that I've tried out myself, and let's say for example Notion, right? I love using Notion. I've been using it since 2019, ever since I started watching Ali Abdal videos. And so I reached out to Notion and I said that I would love to work with you. I would anyways be making this video of how I use Notion. Now I reached out to them and they were like, let's go, let's work on it. And that was like a brand deal that I did with them. My audience would anyways watch that video.
Yeah.
Now I found a way to sustain my work as a creator as well, without, you know, taking from anyone's plate. And it's a win-win for everyone. So I think the best way to reach out, or if you want brand deals as a creator, the best thing you can do is just create great content. And the second best thing is understand that you need to be discoverable in front of brands. You can either do that by signing up with a talent agency. The way I have done it, which has worked really well for me, is by building your own cold outreach workflow.
Okay, can you explain that?
The way it works is that right now I research for companies which are doing brand partnerships. So on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter. And then I make a list of all of those companies. There's a platform called Apollo which finds out all the marketing team people in those companies in US or wherever they are based and gives me the email for them. I have crafted 2-3 copies of emails which I send to all of those brands saying that, hey, I came across your piece, I came across your tool and I love the work that you're doing. I make content on AI agents and upskilling, and I would love to work with you and figure out something. If you're available, we can have a chat. And I send that email to all of them. So it's like every day, through my official emails, we send, let's say, 30 emails per email ID, and we have like 20 email IDs. So we're able to send 600 emails every day. Do that over like a month, and you would have just a ton of emails, ton of people that you're reaching out to. Even if one person converts, and each brand deal is, let's say, worth $4,000, $5,000, you're going to end up with probably close to $100,000 worth of brand deals in like a month.
Wow.
So that is a cold outreach strategy that you build after researching about how these platforms work, and you double down on it every single month. It is a lot of work, but it will work for you every single month consistently. Let's say you work with that one brand, then you do a brand deal, you do a long-term contract with them for 12 months, and then you keep working with them over the long term. That is consistent revenue for you as a creator to sustain your work.
Right.
And most creators don't know how to figure this out. And that is the problem why creators stay creators and they're not able to transition into business owners or entrepreneurs, because they just stay so focused on to creating content, they are not able to see the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that you've built a funnel for brands that you can work with, give value to your audience, and hence build value for your own self as well.
Right.
And the way to do that is by creating the sales workflow.
Wow. Nice.
It is a lot to digest. But if you want to just get started with getting brand deals as a creator, learn about Apollo, learn about creating an ICP, ideal customer persona, taking all the emails of people who work in companies that you want to work with, brand partnerships. You take those emails, you put it into Instantly. Instantly will warm up your email first of all, and then it will send emails on your behalf to companies who you want to work with. Schedule a meeting with them using Calendly, and then close a deal. Negotiate with them. Learn the art of negotiating. Close a deal agreement and
wow. Very interesting. Wow. So you also mentioned about working with US UK clients. How has that experience been? Like, as a marketing agency, how do you reach out to US UK clients?
It is the same workflow that I just explained to you for brand deals. The only difference here is that instead of saying, can we get on a quick like a G meet, the difference is that, hey, I'm traveling to San Francisco next month for like 2 weeks. I would love to meet in person and discuss how we can work together. And like the copy would probably be like, hey, we've worked with XYZ AI companies in San Francisco and help them grow from X to Y subscribers or X to Y views, generated X number of views for them. And we'd love to discuss if we can do the same for you. So we realized that a lot of companies in the space of AI in San Francisco are great at building products, but they don't know how to market it effectively. They don't know how to sell it and get that first set of traction without running ads. Anyone can run ads and like get some unreasonable, traction. But it is completely different to create great shareable organic content. You know about it.
Yeah.
Which people organically love to use, and they would then sign up for your platform and then potentially pay for it as well. So we enable that for companies. So I reach out to them, I go to San Francisco, I meet them in person, and I think this is like the moat that I can travel there and I can do these deals, and because I've built a channel of my own, they trust me more. And that is it. We get on a first call in person, maybe we're meeting in like a cafe or we're going for like a walk. The founder is there, or maybe from the marketing team someone is there. I'm just discussing what we can do, how I started my content creation journey. And then the next step is to do like an online call in which you would create like a pitch deck and show them how we can really help you, what content ideas we can work on. And then the next step is, if they are good to go, then we do the agreement and we onboard them.
What is the difference between a UK US based company or client compared to a Indian brand or client? What difference have you spotted? Maybe mindset wise, yeah, in practical sense also.
Plenty. So when I closed a US client, it was a 18-minute call that I had with him explaining what we offer, and I signed a $5,000 per month client with that. I closed another $5,000 per month client in India, like a 4.5 lakh per month client. It was an enterprise client. It took us about 6 months to get that, convincing them with multiple calls, figuring out what else do they need, how can we change. All like gray hair people who were doubting if we can actually deliver, and then we would have to make up for it, and then finally they converted in 6 months. So it's like your choice, 6 months versus 18-minute call.
So like
that is the difference. I think they have to grow quickly, right? Like the people that we are reaching out to, let's say US based startups, they are in it for saving their time, and so they would pay you if you can save their time and get things done faster. So we explained what we can do for you for them, and I said then we'll figure out. And they're like, cool, let's do it. Like, where do I have to pay? And that is how they get started. So they will try out how well you are, how good you are at what you're saying, and then if it works, then they will definitely keep working with you again and again. But they are not afraid of experimenting, and they have enough cash to help you do that.
Which is what
obviously if you mess up,
at.
then you spoil your name and you don't get any other work, and then the word spread in the market that hey, this guy is just a charlatan. So you have to be aware of that. But then the US clients are much more willing to bet on you as a young agency owner versus the Indian client. Even if it is a funded startup, it just takes a lot of amount of time, negotiations. They're like, इतना महंगा तो नहीं होता है, इतना कितना ले रहे हो, थोड़ा कम करो, right? So it's just a race to the bottom. We feel we still have some clients in India, but it's like more like 70% outside and 30% in India.
Oh, okay. Do you remember your first hire for MarkitUp?
Yes.
What was there a story, or it's just how did you come to a conclusion? Now we need to start hiring people, and how did you find that person, and what is the story?
We were looking for like video editors to hire full time. We came across one profile, but that person had a great video edit. When I got on a call with him, he said he's not a video editor, he's a designer. And I said, that makes no sense. Like, you edited this video so well. He said, yes, I can do that as well, but I'm more of a designer. I'm better at designing things. I said, cool, let me hire you as an intern, and you will make carousels for our Instagram account, for MarkitUp's Instagram account. So he did that. He worked for like a month or two in that, but he was always asking questions about what else can I do in the company. So can I manage like a client? Can I overlook video edits and the quality for that? So because he was so curious, so we gave him more responsibility, and then in 2 years he became like the main project lead for all the projects that we had. in MarkitUp. So he had like a crazy trajectory. And I tell everyone that if you are starting your career, the best thing you can do if you want to quickly grow, like he had his salary go from probably X to 15X because he was really consistent about asking questions. So ask questions, be curious, always keep learning, and just keep learning new skills as much as you can. Like he came in like a designer, then he learned how to manage people, how to communicate, negotiate. He learned about content writing. He became like a ninja at the end of it.
So
right?
you would say an ideal hire would be someone who's ready to learn and upskill himself all the time,
and has the accountability for it without me having to ask you every single time. So we have this culture in our company that we will not micromanage you all the time. Like this is the work that needs to be done. This is the client. You know that the requirement is to get the 2 videos out by the end of this week. So you work on that accordingly, right? You don't wait for us to like check up, hey, did you like upload that video? So that we optimize on a lot. And it takes us a lot of time to hire people, but when we do hire them, they stay for a long time. We haven't done the hire fast, fire fast approach yet.
Yeah. और जब हम देखते हैं स्टार्टअप्स में यूजुअली वी हैव फ्रेश माइंड्स यंग ब्लड कमिंग इन, ऐसा कभी हुआ है दैट यू हैड टू हायर समवन हु इज लाइक मे बी क्वाइट ओल्डर देन यू, एंड ऐसा डू यू हैव समवन हु इज मे बी 10 years older to you in the
Not 10,
team?
but there's one person who was like 30 years old. He's like a video editor. He is working remotely for the company.
How do the power dynamics play in there? Like, does the factor that you are younger than me come in somewhere?
I think because it is remote, so we haven't faced that issue, because it's just like, assigning the video gets edited and we get the video back, and that is pretty much it. But in our company, the people who are on site, I think the max is like 25, 26.
Okay.
So 20 to 26 is the age group that people are in, and that works well for us. Haven't yet hired a elder person. I've been told to hire people who are above my age, but I'll get to that.
You have also met pretty sharp minds of India when it comes to business and entrepreneurship. Like you've met a Schneer Grower, you've done a podcast with all of them actually. How was that, like getting to know the best minds in the business? What shifts or what changes inside you after meeting these kind of people?
I think I've met so many of these founders, and they all have taught me to be just really quick at executing things. Like if you have an idea, just go and execute and put things out. Like I had an idea for an AI tool I was making, and I just built it using a vibe coding app and just launched it. And people are now using it. And like I've made a story, and like 2,000 people have downloaded, started using the app. So all of that I learned when I met all of those people. I also learned how they can be super down to earth, and you won't even know that this person is like a billionaire. Like I met Ritesh Agarwal, and he was having food with all the last mile employees of Oyo in the Oyo townhouse itself. So he was sitting here and he had everyone around him, and he was talking about how we have to become profitable by the end of this quarter. And he was sharing everything that, इतना हमारा मुनाफा है, इतना हमारा लागत है, तो हम ऐसे करके हम profitable बन सकते हैं, तो आप बताओ कैसे we can solve this, क्या problem आप face कर रहे हो बताओ. And he would talk to everyone, and it would never feel like a boss. It felt so grounded and open to feedback, and I think that I've learned the most from meeting all of these people.
When did you have your fan moment? मतलब किसी से मिलने के बाद were you struck कि this is that a person and he's just so down to earth, so grounded? Did something like that happen?
Yeah, I met Gary Vaynerchuk in New York, and that was like last year around this time, and that was probably the craziest experience. I went into his agency office in Hudson Yards in Midtown Manhattan. Went to his office. We had like a 15-minute slot, so I got inside, set up the camera, started talking, and it was just unreal because I have been motivated for creating content by watching his videos, and so everything I've done, I owe it to him. And meeting him in person, shooting that podcast in the room in which I have seen him record videos for at least the last half a decade, that to me was insane.
Wow.
I made friends with him. I met him a couple of more times. I've met all of my mentors. So Chris Du, who taught me about design and branding and starting a marketing company. Gary Vee, who taught me all about how to start content creation. I met Ankur Variku, who taught me so much about how do you scale content. I've met all of these people and I've learned so much from them, and it is just, I think this is the best thing about my job.
What do you think? What is the one common quality all successful people have in them?
I think they are just really good at figuring things out. I have learned this habit of just being super open to learning new things and just figuring it out as we go. I did not know as a developer when I was a engineering student how to edit a YouTube video, but I just figured it out. Like I just Googled stuff and I just made it happen. I did not know how to, like buy a camera or set up a tripod, but I just learned it along the way. So when I went to US, it was just me and two suitcases. One was clothes and the other was the gear. So I had 3 cameras and 4 mics, and I bought 2 tripods there, and I was doing it all myself. I went to meet Arvind Srinivas of Perplexity and I set up all the tripods myself. So I just learned to do things myself without needing anyone with me. Uh, I think that is the greatest skill that you can learn. Being okay with change and adapting and learning really quickly and just figuring it out as you go.
You mentioned that your office is in Bangalore, right?
Yes.
मैंने बहुत देखा है कि all these startup ideas end up like in Bangalore. Like Bangalore has this culture of startups. What is so different in Bangalore? Like why do all the founders want to go to Bangalore and open their offices there?
I think because there are so many VCs, there's already a built ecosystem ready for you to go. So let's just say you go to Bangalore, you pitch a VC and you get funded. Everything else is sort of like set up for you like a template. So let's just say that VC will have a tie-up with a co-working company. So you instantly get an office space at a much cheaper price. Let's say you want to start doing B2B sales. That VC would have connects with a lot of businesses that they will connect you with. And all of those companies would be situated there itself. So it's very easy for you to meet more founders. So whenever you are able to stay in a hotspot, the best benefit of that is just the network effects. You could be sitting in a cafe and you might find Kunal Shah sitting next to you working on something or meeting someone. I just keep meeting some really interesting people because I just go to these cafes in Indranagar or Koramangala and I find new founders sitting next to me building something. There was a saying that if you go to a third wave cafe in Indranagar, on the tissues you often find term sheets and valuations, people writing and discussing, and that is the best part about Bangalore. There's just so many events that happen that you get to learn from the people that you meet. You learn so much from them, and you just realize that everyone is just trying to figure out what else can they do, how can they work with more companies. So it's a very collaborative space that you don't often see in other places. So the best thing I did when I dropped out of college was to come to Bangalore. So I dropped out on 27th of March 2022. 1st April, I was in Bangalore, just meeting people. That 1 week, I met all the people who I used to see on YouTube and all the founders I used to admire a lot in person. Learned from them, spent time with them, went to house parties. The culture is more house parties than club nights. So if you know the right people, they would invite you to the right parties. So you go inside, you meet all the people over there, and it's just a really good connection that you can build with anyone possible.
So over this journey, dropping out from college to starting your own thing, what are the 3 key lessons that you have learned and you think everyone out there who's starting to build something of their own should know?
I think the best thing I did was to have this delusional belief that I can actually do this, which people did not actually have. My roommates, my batchmates from my college used to like mock me, saying that why would you write a book on LinkedIn? Why would you start a marketing company? You're an engineer. You have a set path for you. Like, why would you do that? And now it is clear to them. But back then, I was having this delusional belief that I can build a company which would serve 10, 15, 20 companies, and I would be able to create a revenue large enough for this to be sustainable. So I had that belief that I can make it work. I think that is the first thing that you need to understand. Second, you don't need to plan for the 2 years down the line, right? Like when you're, let's say, in a dark environment, you're driving a car, you only see the first 10 meters from you. So I just figure out how can I do what I need to do in the next 1 month to make this work. So for example, setting up an offline office. So we went looking out for places that we can get as an office space, signed the agreement and the lease. The next step, it was a bare shell office. So we constructed the whole space, talking with the contractors about the furniture, about the glass, about the AC, about the system, the Wi-Fi, talking to all of these people, negotiating with all of them, the problems that arise after that. We did it ourselves, like me and my co-founder. So we learned so much through this process. We messed up, we made some mistakes, we realized that ये ऐसे नहीं करना चाहिए था, ये ऐसे कर सकते थे. I think that teaches you a lot, even though you might not apply it anywhere else, but it just teaches you a lot about how to figure things out. And I think lastly, the best thing I've learned through this whole process is that it's all about building that vibe in the office, that we are here to do the best work that we can. So whenever I meet my employees and I'm asking them, what new did you do today? Like when you are editing a video, let's say a video of mine, what is one new thing that you executed in this video that you learned somewhere else? So I'm able to ask them that question. They're able to constantly try out something new in all of my edits, so they become better.
Right.
Writing content, I'm talking to the content writers. I ask them, what is a new hook that you are trying out today? So we're able to talk to them about that. Thumbnails. We look at all types of thumbnails which are working on YouTube, figure out what else we can do on our thumbnails. So I talk to the thumbnail designers. So they keep growing exponentially because of that.
Wow. What is your biggest challenge right now as a founder?
I think the biggest challenge, a lot of challenges. It's hiring, I think.
It's hiring.
The biggest challenge is hiring great people, even though India is a nation of all the youth people. It's actually the hardest to find great people, because it's not even about the skill, it's about the attitude problem, right? Like when you're trying to hire people, they just don't have the attitude of learning every single day or staying with the problem long enough. They're facing an issue, figuring out the solution and not just giving up. कि ये तो नहीं हो रहा है ऐसे करके. Finding out that person who has that attitude is really hard. In our age group especially.
Yeah.
So we struggle a lot with that. So we keep looking for people to hire, and we have to make sure that we are also growing as they are growing in their career, so that we can offer them the right space for them to grow. And I think the biggest challenge as a young founder is the fear of like the unknown unknowns, right? Because I don't have a manager on top of me, because I don't have like a path, developer, senior developer, engineer. It all comes down to me.
Yeah.
And what new do I want to do? And that is my growth trajectory. I have to set it up for my own self. But I'm always thinking that, is there something that I don't know right now, which I could be doing, which could be giving me the growth that I could potentially get? I know that this sounds weird.
No, but if we, like, the thing is, you are the founder, but you are pushing 10 people to do something. You yourself have to push yourself to get somewhere.
I have to make goals on my own.
Yeah.
Right? So it is all about me and the goals I can set for myself. And that is a problem, because you always keep doubting yourself. Is this all? Is there more that I can do?
For someone who is maybe 19 or 20-year-old who's right now watching this podcast, आप क्या advice दोगे उन्हें to make it big, to reach to a point maybe where you are and to where you are planning to go further? What advice would you give them?
Just believe that you can. I know this is very cliche, but we overthink a lot on what we can or what we can do. we doubt ourselves a lot कि ये तो नहीं हो पाएगा, या फिर ये मैं कैसे कर सकता हूँ, ये मैं कैसे कर सकती हूँ, मैं नए शहर में कैसे आ सकता हूँ, मैं बिना पेरेंट्स के कैसे सर्वाइव कर सकता हूँ, घर का खाना नहीं है, सब छोड़ना पड़ेगा. Right? So just be comfortable in uncomfortable situations and know that you can do it. People who have done it are no smarter than you. I am not some extraordinary person, right? Like, I probably got the same grades that you got in school, right? So it's very similar journey that I had. I just knew that I can do it, and I kept executing and setting up bigger standards for myself, right? Like writing a best-selling book. That was something which I never imagined I could do that. But I executed on it. It took me 1.5 years, but I made it happen. Like having an in-person office when most people my age are just starting their career. All that happens because I believe that I can do it.
Right.
So if you are watching this video and you want to do something big, just start today and know that it is possible.
Before you started your journey as a founder, you are also a college dropout, right? So, do you think a degree is important to be successful in career?
I dropped out when I was growing my company, not before starting my company. So the reason for me to drop out was because I wanted to grow my company. And I knew that my college and my surroundings were not going to help me grow further. I need a better environment, which was Bangalore for me, which is why I changed the city. That's why I dropped out. If you are in a similar place, then do that. If you're not in a similar space, then learn from people around you. And don't have that mindset that I'll just drop out and figure things out after that. You can very well do college and then figure out what you want to start. Do a job and figure out what you want to do. Right? 9 to 5 and then 5 to 9.
But do you
That is
think
more
like
important.
more than a traditional degree, your experience of building a startup has taught you more? Yeah, a traditional
Absolutely.
degree is important equally.
I think I've learned a lot about companies, how to grow them, sales, negotiating, just communicating effectively with people because I started my company. But my company was working and then I took that plunge. It was already generating profit, like not revenue, not ARR, nothing like that. Proper revenue in the bank, liquid cash. to make it very clear. That is why I took the plunge and I went all in with it. And I could see a future with it. That's why I did it. That doesn't mean that you just come outside and be like, मुझे college नहीं करना या मुझे job नहीं करनी. People have this misconception. Like a lot of people think that I just dropped out and I figured things out. ऐसा नहीं हुआ था. Even Mark Zuckerberg जो थे, he left his degree after Facebook reached 1 billion users. Then he decided to not come back to
This
college.
is then a really big misconception क्योंकि जो people who are like driven with I want to build something of my own are of that belief कि ठीक है यार अब पढ़ाई मैं रहने देता हूँ मुझे ये करना I'll run behind this. But what you told that first you need to create a backup that you see a future in this and then take this plunge is very important.
Yeah. And you can do it part-time. Right? Keep doing it part-time until it becomes a viable option for you to go all in.
Right.
And you don't have to just make this your end-all be-all kind of a thing.
Right.
That is really important to understand.
Okay. Also, talking on AI front, can you like tell us few AI tools that you are playing around with right now?
I use a lot of AI tools, right? Every single day, I have so much work that I do and I use AI for that. For example, I use the ChatGPT agent mode for researching. It's great for looking up websites and doing all the tasks on my behalf. I came across this amazing tool called Comet by Perplexity, which is a AI browser. So like Chrome, but powered by AI. So it can look things up. It will have an AI assistant ready for you to do things on the website. That is an amazing AI tool which I just came across. Flow is an amazing app by Google, which is basically powered by VO3, which is their video generation platform. It's amazing for creating these B-rolls that we use in our videos. So I always use that. Ideogram is wonderful for creating all the graphics that I have. For example, I'm starting a AI hackathon, so I wanted some stickers to be made from that. I used Ideogram and I got those stickers made for me for free. And it works really well. Ideogram, free to use. I'm using this amazing tool called Leonardo AI for another more image generation work. I'm using Kling AI for animations and things like that. Higgs Field AI is amazing for creating those amazing shots if you want to animate videos. But I think it's all about figuring out what problem do you face and finding a way to solve that problem through the best AI that is available to you. I'm automating a lot of my content work using Hagen and 11 Labs as well.
Yeah.
So all of these tools work really well in my arsenal. But it starts with a problem. The problem is maybe I want to scale my content. The problem is maybe I want to solve for content research and doing that faster. And then I go back and figure out what tools will help me with it.
Okay. And on ending notes, what is your future taking you towards? What are your next plans?
The next plan is to build more products. I just launched a website called promptmaxer.com. So PromptMaxer is like a AI tool which helps you get 10x better prompts. So normally आप एक normal सा prompt लिखोगे कि generate this for me. It's not effective because like JSON format is a structured format which LLMs love to see and process. You are talking to it in English. It's not as effective for analyzing that. So the best thing you can do is to create a JSON output using PromptMaxer. तो उसमें आप जाओ, उसमें लिखो आपको क्या चाहिए, and it makes an in-depth JSON prompt. Then you paste that into ChatGPT and you get just the best results.
Wow.
10x better outputs from ChatGPT, from Perplexity, from Claude, from Gemini, all because you're communicating with structured outputs.
Yeah.
Your prompt is structured. The task is this, the length is this, the word count is this, the tone is this, and then you write it. Learn how to prompt effectively, right? There's like a very good format. So you start with assigning it a role that you are an expert at writing content. Then you give it a problem that this is what I am going through. Then you give it a way to solve it. So I want you to research XYZ websites and find me this solution. Then you give it an exit condition. So stop searching for something when you've come across 5 solutions. Then you give it an output format. How do you want to see the output? Do you want it to be like a table? Do you want it to be like a bulleted list? Do you want like a PDF? And at the end, you want you to tell it what not to do. So that is a great structure for your prompt as well. So the more you improve with prompting, the better outputs you will always get.
I think prompt engineering is the key thing you need to learn to use AI better.
Yeah.
And I think यहाँ से बाहर जाके मैं ये try करने वाली हूँ.
Absolutely.
This is very useful.
Let's go.
But thank you so much, Ishan, for being with us today.
Thank you so much,
Got to learn a lot. Great chat. And we wish you a lot of success and a lot of products in future that we get to use.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching.